Nice to meet you too, bro.
The very first day I got here, like I was terrified because I was flying in. I'm from Chicago originally.
Oh, that's Chi-Town.
Not
That's what's
local.
up.
Yeah, you know. So like I got here and I was like, what is any of this?
Yes.
And like I walked in and like there were like a bunch of like smiling black people, which was necessary because all of my nerves were going. I was alone.
Oh,
I didn't have
yeah.
my parents, it was just me. And like there were people here just ready and welcoming. And that was like huge because I was like, this is like my first impression of like what Tufts was. And like I think from then, like at least like the Africana Center as a place became like some place where I knew I could come and like get like a smile from people that like felt familiar.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I definitely had a very similar experience. Like my high school was predominantly white, so I was kind of ready for that. I had already had the, you know, the hair touching. I actually had a lot of hair.
Yeah.
The hair touching, the asking, you know, are you from the ghetto? Or do you, you know, just a bunch of all of the questions, do you deserve to be here? So I was kind of mentally prepared for that. But in the engineering school, it was that being the only black person, but then being one of few women as well.
Yeah.
That was just that constant feeling of, do I belong here, you know, and kind of having that feeling that you have to prove that you deserve to be there, you know, and the Africana Center was always something for me where it was like, I don't have to explain, you know, my existence. I don't have to, you know, qualify myself around anyone. It's actually home, you know? So I totally feel you on that one. Did you go on the retreat in the beginning?
I did.
Ah, me too.
I did it all. I was here as much as I could be.
I know, right? I feel like, did you live here too?
For my sophomore year.
Oh, beautiful. I never lived here, and I'm kind of sad about that. But I felt like, you know, those shows back in the 90s, they always have that like one good friend that's always there.
Yeah.
Whether it's like Pam from Living Single, it's like, but you don't live here though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or Roger from Sister Sisters, like, you don't live here, bruh. You know, and you're kind of treated that way. But here, it was like, you know, you do live here. Like, you belong in this community.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's beautiful to see.
I just think that this place has been so helpful for me to like at the very least come in and just like be. There's a lot of spaces on this campus where I don't feel like I can do that.
Right.
And throughout my time here, this has always been one place where I can like take off the mask and like just like walk around as a person and not have to feel like I'm performing myself all the time.
Exactly.
I think before I came to Tufts and got to know the center, I wasn't necessarily as like involved or like knowledgeable about like things happening within the black worlds. Other than like my personal ones. And here, like I was exposed to like a lot of different like black peoples for the first time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like,
and there's so much diversity within our community, you know? It's not a one size fit all at all.
I don't even like calling it necessarily one community because there's so many different communities like here.
I know one thing I was thinking about when I kind of think about the importance of the Africana Center is what life was like when I didn't have it, you know?
Yeah.
I remember, you can count, I can't even, I've lost count of how many black unarmed men have been killed by police, but I remember being at my first job out of school and there had been one really, really big, high profile case where someone was killed by a police officer. And I remember going into work the next day and I was already just in a really just bad place, and I went to the lunchroom and people were talking about it, and the comments I heard were, he should have listened to the police, you know, that wouldn't have happened if he had just obeyed their orders, or X, Y, and Z, you can't blame the police, you can't, you know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't even like muster up the strength to explain why this was so upsetting. And I thought about, you know, where can I go right now? Who can I talk to right now? So to me, the Africana Center, I kind of wish we could just package this up and just bring it with me anywhere I go, to where there's that community where I don't have to explain. I don't have to start from point A to get you up to speed on why my existence and my life matters, you know?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I remember my first year, that fall was the election of 2016. and we had a watching party like here in Cape Ann. People were hoping that it wouldn't go the way that it did, but in that moment, I felt like it was just really important to feel like you were being held, because like I would hate to have been processing a moment like that absent like my peoples. And I think that like that kind of like support is like when it really gets, it's not all about when it really gets ugly here, but when it does, like
it's great having that community to fall back on.
Yeah.
You know, I think what's really beautiful about the Africana Center is that although there is that space for necessary venting and healing, there's also that joy.
Yeah, there's so much joy here.
You know, like I've learned every dance move here. Now what do? I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what dances are out there anymore. But when I was here, you know, what was it, Cat Daddy and Dougie's and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what are the dances now. I don't want to put you on the spot, but what's going on? What can I take back?
So you want to learn how to woe? That's what I just did. So you.
It's a woe?
Yeah, it's a woe. So you gotta take something.
I'm gonna take it.
Take a thing. You throw it up.
Where is it?
And then you catch it and you bring it down and lock it.
Okay. Got
So toss it and lock.
Okay. Is it too much?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
My brother, I love it. Thank you for keeping me up to date.